Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at the Neca Gargoyles Ultimate Bronx action figure. Now, Bronx is sort of a dog-like creature. He's one of the gargoyles, but he didn't have the traditional wings like the other ones, and he doesn't seem to have the same kind of intellect. I had read about Bronx popping up at various Target stores across the country, and I kept checking, and checking, and checking, and checking, and checking with no success. I kept giving the barcode. That doesn't really help too much with NECA figures. I happened to stop by Target on my way to work today. I was actually looking for the McFarlane DC Multiverse Ultraman figure. They had absolutely nothing. No figures of any kind that I want, and there are plenty that are popping up at Target stores I'm looking for. On my way out the door, I walked by the Magic the Gathering card section by the check lanes, and they had 3 Goliath and 3 Bronx just chilling up there. No idea why they weren't in the normal electronics section. No idea why they weren't on NECA's Haulathon end cap, but very happy that I happened to walk by that place. Normally I will not walk by that on the way out the door. Toy gods were shining on me today. So let's check out the packaging. As you can see, not only do we get Bronx, but it includes Goliath's closed wings, and that should really help with some of the wing issues. But what am I going to do for Thaylog and Demona? Disney's Gargoyles Bronx Ultimate action figure. Here he is on the side of a building, looking fantastic. Gargoyles, Bronx. One side, got the figure posed up. Other side, posed up with the other head. At the bottom, got a bunch of credits, and there is a barcode, in case that helps anybody. But like I said, NECA inventory is not tracked the way normal items are tracked through Target system. It didn't help me at all. I actually had them scan it, said they didn't have it, and bam, there were 3 of them. Backside, you can see Bronx in a couple different poses, Goliath with the wings, and here are some other NECA Gargoyles figures you should check out. Cannot wait to complete the Manhattan Clan. So this is one of NECA's Ultimate figures. Window box packaging, you can see on the inside flap, Bronx, and then here he is. Looks like he comes with 2 heads, wings for Goliath, and I'm not sure what that is, a stick for him to chew on or something like that. We'll find out shortly. So no further ado, let's open him up. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He does come with an alternate angry head, totaling 2 interchangeable heads. He also has what I originally thought was some sort of stick for him to chew on, but I think it's supposed to be a piece of meat. And then of course, he has Goliath's sort of folded over wings, almost when he uses wings like a cape. But before we take a look at the accessories, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So here's Bronx. He's definitely not my favorite gargoyle. Pretty simple, more like their pet, but he's so cool. You can see those ears, looks just like the show. Ton of muscular sculpt and detail all over this guy. Looks like he has 3 points of articulation in each one of his legs. They're all single jointed with rotation. A little tail sticking up, some spikes on the back. You can see the coloring on his skin. It's not all just one color, a lot of shading. Very nicely done. God, look at that face. His jaw is articulated, which really surprised me. I mean, not very much, but you have that alternate head with the mouth wide open. Overall, this guy looks great. His body is sort of made of like a softer material. It doesn't have really any give except for right around the middle here. Looks like the tail's even articulated. Man, this guy is fantastic. Now, the only thing that's sort of a drawback about this figure, it's a little bit less gargoyle than the other gargoyles, and he costs every bit the same. That's why he comes with the Goliath wings. This guy was $36.99 at Target, ended up being just a few cents less than $40, and I'm happy to pay it again, but my God, this collection's going to be expensive. Here's a closer look at Bronx's face or head sculpt. And here he is, broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's take a look at his accessories. And let's start off with the Bronx accessories. We'll start off with his heads. So Bronx has a total of 2 heads. The one on the left has a more normal expression and a little bit of jaw articulation, and the one on the right is an angry head with the mouth open. Here's Bronx with his first head. This one has the more normal expression, and the jaw is articulated. Here it is with the mouth open. And here's his alternate, angrier head with the mouth open. He could be barking or biting. Here's his meat accessory. You can see why I thought it was a stick from inside the package. Similar to him to gnaw on. But when I saw the side there, I knew it was a piece of meat. Here's Bronx holding the meat with his angry head. And here he is, holding the meat with his regular head, with the jaw open. Here are the Goliath wings. And oh my god, am I stoked about these things. Now, the first thing, they're not hard plastic, they're made of this bendable, rubbery material, and that's probably how the wings should have been done to begin with. Man, that's fantastic. They got the pegs that'll fit into his back. They are connected here, which is a little disappointing. You could probably cut that very easily, and then you'd be able to outstretch these things. I mean, they move, have a very good amount of give to them. Looks absolutely fantastic. And this is going to allow Goliath to be inside next to other gargoyles. He won't have to social distance, with his wings keeping them at least 9 feet away from him. 2 thumbs up, although how am I going to get wings for Thalog and Demona? Hope Neca's working on some sort of solution to this. I don't want to buy an accessory pack for every single figure. Here's Goliath, with his regular wings attached. They look magnificent, they're massive. He is the only one of my 3 gargoyles, Goliath, Thalog, and Demona, where the wings actually stay in place. The other ones have at least one loose wing that will not stay up. I'm going to attempt to fix that in the near future, but haven't got around to it yet. They also make his head look down somewhat. It looks great, but they're honestly far too large to work inside of a building. They're fantastic for on top of a rooftop, but just so wide, he really can't interact with the rest of his clan easily. And then here's Goliath, with the closed wings that Bronx came with. Oh, they look fantastic. They're rubbery. They don't have any loose issues because they're going to be sitting on his shoulders. In addition to that, his head doesn't really look down with these things. Very, very pleased with what I'm looking at. I love it. Love having these 2 options. Wouldn't mind having a third option for some wings that are less outstretched, but simply having these 2 options really takes this figure to a whole nother level. It really addresses some of the quality control issues. Unfortunately, Goliath is actually the best off with the quality control. Demona and Thalog, I gotta find a fix for their wings. I've read a couple solutions, but I hate to say it, kind of too scared to try putting super glue and other things in his wing sockets. I think I'll probably mess it up. I do have half a mind to just glue their wings in, but if I'd done that with Goliath, I wouldn't be able to swap out the wings. 2 thumbs up. I will buy any accessory pack they make, but I'm pretty displeased with that concept. And if you wanted to, yes, you could put these wings on Thalog, although the color scheme doesn't exactly match. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to about the tallest point on him, about 3.75 inches tall. If you want to know how long he is, about 6 inches long. Now let's check out his articulation. Starting with his head here, of course, he has this articulated jaw. Doesn't come open too much, but I'll take what I can get. You've got the other head if you're not happy with that. His head can rotate around, goes up and down a little bit. Now he has this giant neck with some articulation, although it's very stiff. You can just get a tiny bit of movement out of there, but it'll just increase your poses a little bit. Shoulders on a ball joint. They can go in and out a little bit. They can go up and down. Single jointed elbows, they go in about this far back. There also is rotation. So next, I don't think elbow is the right word, but wrist or whatever. Go down like this, back up, rotation. Then his foot, it can go up and go down, and it has rotation. Then his back legs, forward and back, can go out a lot farther than the other one. You can see it's a ball joint in there. His knee, single jointed, in and out, rotation. His next knee or whatever, in and out a little bit, rotation again. And his toes, up and down, more rotation. Then we have the tail back here, can wag around a little bit, ball joint, pretty much do anything you want it to do for the most part. Here's Bronx with his clan leader and Master Goliath, with his closed wings. Man, this looks for a fantastic pair here. Kind of reminds me of when they were on the Avalon quest. It was Goliath, Bronx, Elisa, and Angela. If I get the 4 of those together and get a good-sized boat, man, some really cool stuff for these figures. Here's Goliath and Bronx relaxing on top of the castle. Here's Bronx chomping on the arm of a Steel Clan robot. This is McFarlane, Batman in Hellbat armor. Works for a good makeshift Steel Clan robot for now. I cannot wait until NECA gets around to those guys. Some Gargoyles army builders. Here's Bronx being petted by his former clanmate, Demona. Unfortunately, the only little boat that I have for my action figures, this is a boat that came with a Matt Hardy wrestling figure, and it is far too small to hold Goliath, Bronx, and if you wanted to add Angela and Elisa, it ain't gonna happen. I'll have to watch out for something else. And you know what? Maybe Neca will make one eventually. Now let's check him out, next to some other action figures, starting off with the rest of NECA's Gargoyle collection. Here he is, next to Goliath, his clan leader, his owner. Really happy to finally expand on the Manhattan clan. They've already shown us Hudson, Broadway, Brooklyn, and Lexington, and they can't come soon enough. I have a feeling that Brooklyn is the next one that's going to be released, but I don't think anything official has been announced. I'm expecting Target to get them first because they've been getting all the Gargoyles before everybody else. Although I will say, I got both Goliath and Thalog online before Target had them. But I'll tell you, Cold Stone is a figure that I want the most. Also Elisa, Xanatos in business suit, Xanatos in the Steel Clan robot suit, his Steel Clan robots, Macbeth, the Pack, I want it all. Japanese clan, Guatemala clan, Avalon clan, the UK clan. Bring on the Gargoyles. Just fix the wing problem. And here's Bronx next to Thalog, pretty much the evil version of Goliath. And finally, next to Demona. Really wish her wings would stay up, but I'm going to try to fix that myself. Here's my entire collection of Neca Gargoyles figures. 4 figures so far, and they've announced at least 4 more on the way. I think I forgot to mention Hudson earlier, but he's pictured with the other 3. I cannot wait to complete the Manhattan clan, and you know they're going to be making a ton more figures. These things seem to be selling very well, even though there are some quality control issues. They are some absolutely gorgeous figures. Not to knock them out of the park, but they've just got to find a better way to execute these wings. I love these closed wings with Goliath. I love the fact that they're sort of bendable, rubbery. They're not this hard plastic like the other figures. I feel like they're going to weigh less, and they have some give to them. Even with the quality control issues, I give this line 2 thumbs up. It is a complete dream line for me. I am an absolutely huge Gargoyles fan. I mean, Batman is my main thing, but I like Gargoyles more than Batman the Animated Series, and that is a bold statement from a guy like me. Now let's check Bronx out, next to some other castle-type dioramas. These dioramas I use for the main part of the video, they're all by Mezco. The one on the left and the right, they're from the Mezco 112 collection. They're Frankenstein doorways, and the large doorway in the center is from an older Mezco Silent Screamer's Golem figure. It was a diorama that came with that figure. Here's Bronx in the Extreme Sets cardboard pop-up dungeon diorama. This works for a fantastic castle interior, very spacious. Here's an example of how Goliath with the closed wings would be able to interact with Bronx. You can see Thalog. He has these giant outstretched wings. You would never have that going on inside of a building. And it really makes him hard to get next to another gargoyle. So having these wings for Goliath will allow him to interact with the Manhattan clan. I hope we get wings like this for all the gargoyles. Here's Bronx in front of the old Kenner Gargoyles castle. He still looks really cool on the outside. This thing has an interior as well as the exterior. And here's Bronx in front of the large Mattel He-Man Masters of the Universe Classic Castle Grayskull. This is a Matty Collector exclusive back in the day, and it is massive. This thing also has an interior as well as an exterior for your gargoyles to hang out in. And now let's check them out. Next we have more action figures. Starting off with some other dog type creature figures. Here he is with a couple of Diamond Select Toys or DST Ghostbusters Terror Dogs. These guys could make for a good Bronx substitute, but I don't have to do that anymore. They've already released one. And the funny thing is, if you collected and connected the large Diamond Select Ghostbusters rooftop diorama, you got these stone Terror Dogs. This will be perfect for Bronx in stone form. Here's Bronx next to the Hasbro version of the Terror Dog. This is a collect and connect figure. And here, next to a couple of Neca Ultimate Dog Aliens. Then, next to a couple of Neca Predator Hounds from Predators. And here, next to a couple of Resident Evil Lickers. Here's Bronx next to a few David McFarlane Witcher figures. I thought these guys made for some good old school gargoyle hunters from back in the day. And here's Bronx next to a couple of McFarlane DC Multiverse Batman and Hellbound armor figures. These guys make for some good substitutes for Xanatos' Steel Clan, at least until Neca gets around to making them, and you know they will. Now let's check them out, next to some action figures from different various companies, to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Here he is, with some of his NECA brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from NECA Toys, all 7-inch scale. And now, next to some Jack-specific wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some DST or Diamond Select Toys. Then, next to some McFarlane Toys. And here, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. Then, next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, next to some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. And here he is, next to some Mezco 112 collective figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here, with some Mafex figures. Then, next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, this is an absolutely fantastic figure. I don't know if I'm just happy that I found him today, but I really like the way he looks. I think his articulation scheme is fantastic considering the type of creature he is. His accessories, the extra head is cool. The meat, kind of useless in my book. The sculpt and paint job are excellent. I don't see any issues there. If I were to rate this guy, I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. But the fact that he comes with Goliath's wings is going to push him up to an 8. I do feel like maybe the value is not quite there for him as much as some of the other Gargoyles figures. The price just keeps going up and up and up, and I'm all in for anything they make. But my god, $36.99 plus tax is getting pretty pricey. Honestly, they're a little bit cheaper at non-Target stores, but not by much. Usually if you get them online, it's going to be more expensive, but they're a little bit cheaper at Walmart. But like I said, not by much. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.